football team. Well, how we addressed it today with the team is we don't play a football game for 6 months. And the key for us is to focus on today and how we get better today individually, how we get better today as a team, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, all the aspects that go into it. And hype, the game, training camp, all that stuff is so far down the road. We can't worry about that stuff. We needed to focus on today. And I thought all in all as a team, for the most part, we really did a good job of that.
What goals did you establish with your guys, things that at the end of these spring practices after the spring game you want to walk away and say, hey, we did this, we got better at that?
Well, there's always nuances within schemes that we're going to look at that we want to improve upon. Obviously we're replacing some key players. With Leonard being gone, with Hayes being gone, with Buck being gone, with Nelson being gone, and some real JR Tobias, some really critical guys that we need to start to figure out who's going to fill those spots, who's going to fill those roles, and then ultimately our ability to finish. And we're going to have a challenge at the end of every practice that really is going to exemplify the final 2 minutes of every game. And who can we count on? Who's going to be those guys that can make those plays at the most critical moments? And the defense came out today. It was a best of 5, and the defense won the first 3 plays and got off the field and won the game. So hopefully that idea of our ability to not only just be excited to take the field at the beginning of practice, but be at our best at the most critical moment at the end of practice, and that's something we're going to continue to work on.
Is that something that you implemented as a result of some of the late game struggles?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. As a staff, as a head coach, you analyze every aspect of your program. And I look at a couple really tough losses at the end of games on the last play of the game that had a huge impact on our season. We win those 2 games, we're playing for a conference championship. And so you think about the ramifications of that. Of course we're going to address that, and we have to get better at it.
It's early, but what have you seen from Trey Madden and his recovery?
I think Trey's great. What I forgot about Trey is how big and physical he is. He's lower half. He's really put together. He's a physical runner. I think he and Justin complement each other really well because Justin has got such great speed and cutting ability, and then Trey's got such a hammer mentality. I think they're going to be a great complement to one another. And then I forgot as well with Trey, he's got a very high football IQ, his quarterback background from high school, and his ability to catch the ball. So all in all, for Trey, first day back, there's always going to be some natural hesitation there, but he looked pretty good.
Where was Bryce Dixon today?
Bryce is dealing with a student conduct issue.
How was some of the new guys that are Isaac Whitney, Town, how they did it?
Well, I mean, it's day one. It's hard to nail that. I thought, for the most part, those 5 guys, Isaac, Roy, Chuma, Ricky, Cam Smith, they kind of just got into the flow of practice, which is about it. This is all you can really expect them to do in day one. It didn't look too big for them. I thought they flashed in some areas. Ricky made a couple throws. I thought Chuma had a couple really nice pass sets. Isaac made a couple plays down the field. Then they had their moments where they didn't know the play as well as they would have liked and whatnot. But all in all, first college practice for those 5 guys, I guess about as good as it could go.
Do you have any further update on Bryce at this standing with the team?
No, I don't. Not at this point.
Steven, okay, Anthony Sorrow really didn't do much.
Yeah, Anthony's got a foot, I'm going to just call it a foot injury for right now. We don't know all of the specifics yet, and so we're being really cautious with it. And so that was the reason that we held him.
Lamar looks like
trying
to come back.
I guess if I could point out just a couple things that really stood out to me, Lamar was one of them. He seemed like a different player to me than what I had seen all of last year, from the spring ball in the training camp and into the season. Looked really confident. He's moving really sudden. And we knew he had a good off-season conditioning program, the winter conditioning. And he came out today and looked like just a really different player. I was really encouraged by that. That jumped out to me.
Noticed Chris Hawkins was playing a lot of safety today. Is that a long-term thing?
Well, we're gonna dig into it here for a little while. We have to give him a chance to kind of go through some of the growing pains there. We tinkered with it a little in bowl prep, and it really wasn't fair to throw him into the game doing that stuff. So we're going to give him a chance to kind of go through some of the growing pains at the position. Chris's strength is his football IQ. He really gets the game. And think him at safety, that's going to play to his strength even more.
That's Steven Mitchell. What do you say?
Yeah, Steven is another guy who had a really good winter conditioner. He's put on about 10 pounds. He looks strong. Made, again, quite a bit of plays today. We're going to look at him some on Thursday as an outside receiver. He played pretty much exclusively in the slot today. We're going to give him some shots outside Thursday. Adoree will play offense on Thursday. He played defense today. He'll play offense Thursday, so that'll give Steven an opportunity to get outside a little bit more.
How do you feel like your offensive line's meshed with Bob these last couple of weeks?
I think it's been really good. You know, Max is an awesome leader. You know, when your center is played as much football as Max has played, and probably the benefit of it is Max on his 4th offensive line coach in 4 years. You know, so he's able to really be to give a good perspective to the younger guys of accepting a new coach, and you just don't have time to kind of wonder. You just, here we go. You know, it's a new coach. The schemes haven't changed. The system hasn't changed. Let's get moving with it. And I think they've done really well. I'm excited about our offensive line. I really am. I mean, the depth that we have there is as good as I've seen here and anywhere I've been in a long time. And from our younger players to the vets to guys coming off of injury. You look at Jordan Simmons today, Jordan Austin. Nico Falla, I thought looked really good today. He's another guy who had a good winter conditioning program and came out. He's looked as good as I've seen him. So a lot of positives up front.
How about Damian Mama? It looked like he's dropped a few pounds.
Yeah, Damian's in great shape. He's lost some weight. He looks quick. He's still a very big human being, and when he gets his hands on you, he's got huge hands. He kind of latches on. It's tough to get off his blocks, but I just think the confidence with Damian, you lose some weight, you've played some football, you become more confident. Same with Vianney, Toa. That group's going to be good. I don't think just next year. I think for a while. I mean, that group's going to be really good for us.